Hey Brad, how are you feeling?
Good. Scared.
Yeah? What country are you?
Sweden.
And what do you hope to achieve at these talks?
Cap and trade.
Okay. How are you?
Good.
What country are you representing?
Mexico.
What do you hope to achieve at these talks?
I want to see if we can go in and help Afghanistan farther than we already have.
Excellent. Thank you. Annabelle, what country are you representing? What do you hope to achieve here?
What country are you?
Less troops and more safety in Afghanistan.
Okay. Thank you. What country are you representing?
Russia.
And what do you hope to achieve at these talks?
We hope to achieve better international safety from biological, nuclear, and chemical disasters.
Thank you. Good luck doing that.
Thank you.
Michelle, what country are you representing?
Ethiopia.
And what do you hope to achieve at these talks?
A good solution to the famine of '84.
Right, because you have a special condition in your committee.
Yeah, we're set back in the '80s, and we're discussing two topics: the disaster at Chernobyl and the Ethiopian famine.
We haven't heard from Japan yet. What does the Japanese delegation hope to achieve?
Everything we want.
To get tougher rules on anti-doping.
All right, well, good luck on that.
Thank you.
Clara, what country are you representing? Portugal. We don't hear enough about Portugal. What do you hope to achieve at these talks?
Well, Portugal is very interested at the moment about anything related to refugees because they have a lot of economic issues with the environment. According to a lot of news places, Portugal is most affected by the environmental crisis, so we're going to try and fix that.
All right, well, good luck today. Rohan, what are you representing today?
Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone. What do you hope to achieve?
We hope to achieve, we have two issues. One's blood diamonds, and the other is atomic, biological, and chemical terrorism. So in blood diamonds, we are trying to find a resolution, so how we can, in the most peaceful manner, eradicate the illegal trade of diamonds. And in the terrorism part, we want to figure out a way, non-violently, to negotiate with terrorists so that there's no more mass killings.
Thank you. Well, good luck today.
Thank you.
Fellow members of Nueva, I am honored to welcome all of you to the very first Nueva Model United Nations Conference. I know that we have a lot of work ahead of us, as well as, I hope, a lot of fun. I fervently wish that you will think of this experience as one of joy and discovery, friendship and cooperation. It is fabulous that Nueva has decided to allow its middle school students to have such a conference. It shows the importance the school places on creating an awareness of global issues and different ways in which we can try to solve the problems and conflicts of the world. I want to be able to say to adults that the youth of today is becoming more involved and active in tackling the issues which confront the international community. However, we must quicken the pace in which we become educated about the world's problems. You all have researched topics for this conference. I hope this is just the beginning of your immersion in international affairs and current events. I also hope that you will remember and treasure what you will learn from this experience, and not merely think of this conference as a hoop you must jump through simply because it is placed directly in front of you. Today is definitely not about hoops or tricks. The next few days are when you will use the knowledge you have acquired to draft potential solutions for the world's problems, the very same ones the leaders of the world are trying to solve. The absence of global cooperation is what I perceive to be one of the biggest impediments to moving forward. As we discussed in our SEL classes, every person may perceive the world in a unique way. Although this conference is not global, and although in no way is this a random sample of people, you all may view the issues differently from one another. I urge each of you, each and every one of you, to strive for the cooperation and compromise that the nations of the world are so often unable to achieve. So put connections forward and put your differences aside in order to solve the issues at hand and get you motivated to find creative solutions for the problems in the future, when there will be no model or mock before your task. Thank you.
One thing that I like about MUN is how everyone has a voice and really has equal chance to be leaders. I hope everyone everyone will take advantage of this opportunity and contribute to their committees with all the knowledge that they've received. With all this in mind, I think the most valuable thing that MUN has given me is the opportunity and ability to see the world through a different lens, which is that of your country. I think that's a really unique thing and ability to have because it in turn gives us a more deepened sense of what we believe.
A new frontier in foreign relations. The purpose of the meeting was to discuss what shape the world might take after the end of World War II. They came out of that meeting with 4 main points of an Atlantic Charter, which were that all countries should have democracy, all countries should trade freely, all countries should seek to reduce weaponry, and all countries should share in world prosperity. To achieve this, they wanted to create a wider and permanent system of general security. After the U.S. joined World War II that December, the title United Nations was adopted.
As Secretary General, this conference is open.
Yes, Iran.
Motion to set speaking time at 40 seconds.
That motion is in order.
An honorable chair. Terrorism is a very eminent issue, but the one that is even more important than terrorism is the blood diamond trade.
If the diamond rates are still at the same rate that they are now, they would be able to support their family. This does not help in any way on lowering the rates of the diamonds. If, however, we put peacekeepers there, as Iran suggested, it will make this go a lot more smoothly and not create Africa and Sierra Leone into a desert place with 0 people.
Afghanistan and Sierra Leone are now starting to work on a resolution. We propose that we somehow lower the value of diamonds. This would lower the wealth of all the rebels that are using these blood diamonds and hopefully stop the blood diamond trade. Any of you that wish to follow us, send us a note.
What do you hope to accomplish over these next couple of days?
Mostly I want to see if we can recreate a comprehensive solution to the Chernobyl disaster. And for the Ethiopian famine, I think that just like a mainframe of how like a guideline of how we're going to stop this from happening would be very, very, very good. Now if we're going to get that done, it's all up to him.
And there they are.
How can you really agree that more safety features should go in, but not fine? How can we put in more safety features? I wasn't here. So then what do you agree that the actions are at fault? No. But you have, but Italy does have, nuclear facilities too. What is that? Do you wish to close them all down and risk not having enough power for your country?
India believes that we should put a solution forth that doesn't incorporate tariffs because those can also slow down economies. India believes that we should have the World Bank give out low-interest loans to small businesses to make them more able to withstand dumping.
With Brazil, that dumping is bad because it does not allow developing countries a chance to develop their own industry in whatever good they're being dumped on.
Russia, you have 17 seconds.
Thank you, Delegate of Libya, for that generous yield. I reinforce the point that Brazil and Chile and Libya have all stated. I agree with Chile in the sense that dumping is a good thing in some cases, but in extreme cases that could harm an industry or economy, it is definitely not a good thing, and Russia does not understand.
Thank you, Delegate.
How will you be sure that the money is spent improperly? It might turn out slightly like the banks in that the U.S. donated money to.
Well, we would give the highly developed economies would give the money to the UNEP. The UNEP would then have the responsibility of giving it to developing countries.
How would you choose which developing countries got more of the money? Would it be the countries that are developing and have large growing economies? Would you give it to them so that they could then help give it to the really poor developing countries, or give it to the really, really poor people first?
All of my
NATO allies to stand with Be Strong and to back the rebels and to help feed our people, and to help feed the Ethiopian people and not the corrupt Ethiopian government. Thank you. I yield my time to the chair.
Ethiopia, would you like a right of reply?
Yes.
20 seconds.
Our government is certainly not corrupt. It is the rebels who are corrupt. They're trying to unbalance. Use middle order. Oral. They're trying to unbalance. They're trying to. Oh, you were filming that, Steven.
Emma, who are you representing?
Italy.
And?
Well, the conference was really fun because everyone got to express their opinions as maybe someone who they aren't and engage in really interesting debate with everyone else. And we all were talking a lot and arguing in a very positive way, and it was really fun.
You think you'll reach a resolution?
We already have 2 resolutions in the works.
Evan, what country are you playing?
I'm Angola.
And what do you think of the conference so far?
I'm really enjoying it. It's just really fun taking all the stuff that we've learned from the visas and just really taking it into action.
What issue are you working on right now?
Right now we're working on cholera, and we have multiple, well right now we started out with a basic resolution, but now it's split into 2 parts. One that Mexico is leading and one that Zimbabwe is leading. One that goes without taking all the funds, and then one that takes all the funds.
So we have a fund, okay, that the WHO sets up, and we'll partner with UNICEF. So what we do with that fund is money, like let's say the UK wants to donate, and they don't want to spend their time sending it to different places, so they give it to the fund. The fund sets up a plan for that, what money goes to where, to medical kits, to ORS, to education.
So we have a priority list. The first priority is cholera kits, which will probably be like medical supplies. ORS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Electrolytes.
Like, let's say the president of something says, okay, I want to do this, but then he has to run it through, let's say, the Senate or the House. So I think we give the money to the organization, but they have to run the ideas through us before we agree.
Exactly. It might be more expensive, but I also think we should partner with UNICEF because
partnering with you.
Hi Clark, how's it going?
Great, we're in an unmoderated caucus trying to convince Luca, who is the China and the final P5 member, to vote for this resolution.
What's the gist of the resolution?
Well, it has to deal with GMOs, genetically modified organisms, and Luca is proposing a separate resolution that says that we need to conduct more research. So we're trying to see how it'll pan out, and hopefully we'll pass something before the day is over.
And how do the GMOs relate to Afghanistan?
Well, we have 3 subdivision topics: the government stability, the terrorism, and the drug trade. And we're working on the drug trade right now.
How's it going in your opinion, Eric?
I think it's going great. It's really fun to be chair and got a good system going with the stopwatch, and it's just fun to be in power. Yeah.
All right. I hope you pass a resolution today.
We're working on it. We already have 2.
Great. All right. Good luck.
Even though helping political stability and teaching the civilian police to help the Taliban is part of bringing out the Taliban, many Afghan civilians see the Taliban and other terrorist groups as some kind of savior to rid them of Western countries meddling in their land. So we need to turn the people's opinions against them, and they're more likely to reveal identities and locations with this gun.
Thank you, Del. We'll entertain 2 30-second comments. Any other grants?
Grants like to say that we agree with Burkina Faso, but I think that by educating the police, we also must find some strategy to either take out our troops or make them stabilize infrastructure, because having them there not doing anything is not effective.
Thank you, Delegate. Next comment?
Okay, so basically what happened is we successfully contained the Chernobyl explosion by pouring liquid nitrogen on the plant to first cool it down, and we made sure the workers were well informed of what happened when the Chernobyl explosion happened. And so when relief aid was sent, they all had biohazardous suits, therefore to prevent them from getting radiation sickness. And then after that, we had an interesting crisis where Mount Vesuvius had exploded, And the delegates decided that it was time for evacuation and relocation for these people because these problems can simply not continue to happen. If it's going to blow up, why settle people there anyways? And then once we had issued a directive on how to solve the crisis that in Vesuvius, we had numerous debates on the Ethiopian famine, and on Monday, we are currently going to go over 2 or 3 working papers that had been submitted before the end of class. So all in all, it was pretty successful. There are a few hitches, but we're pretty excited for next week to see what's going to happen.
Well, before it started, I was sort of worried that, like, everybody was going to be, like, all serious and, like, oh, you don't know that? Why don't you know that? And, like, all, oh, little kids. But it was actually really fun, and none of the older kids treated us like little kids, which I really liked. And also, like, no, but it was, like, a lot more lighthearted than I thought it would be, and it wasn't all, like, serious and not fun.
I was surprised at that's how much equality there seemed to be, and I really had fun and ended up being one of the biggest sponsors of 2 resolutions.
Congratulations.
One of which hasn't been debated yet.
Encourages all relevant points to abolish GMOs.
Urges countries not to export unhealthy or invasive GMOs.
Requests that all countries check every shipment of food or feed and also tourists to make sure that no GMOs are taken with them.
Calls for the development of irrigation and knowledge of farming techniques.
Stresses the continual banning of GMOs.
I was skeptical, honestly, before, but I feel like in our committee, not only did the 8th graders take a big leadership responsibility, but the 6th graders were really focused, and I really appreciate their commitment to UNHCR. You guys were awesome.
The need of not having so many children, and the reason people are having so many children is to help them when they're older. And so I think we need education in India.
I was actually really proud of my committee because I was also in the beginning a little bit skeptical about how quickly the debate would flow. And like everyone just got up and they spoke so well, and I was just
Thanks.
At first I was really worried that I would like mess up in the middle of talking and then totally forget everything I was about to say, but I didn't, and I actually got into arguments with people, and it was really fun. I like arguing.
The UK would prefer not to take sides in the war in Ethiopia, but we don't support the rebels, but we don't support the Ethiopian government. Our main concern is to get this famine under control, because as we're talking here, people are dying. We have to get this under control. Thank you.
Is that some of the best things were when when the person came in announcing that we had another crisis, we were just in the middle of voting for a resolution on one of our topics. So the chair had just said, all in favor of this resolution, and we're all like raising the things, and then people come in and they're like, but wait, can't vote yet, we got a crisis right now. And they did that multiple times, and it's really fun, and it was kind of funny, and I thought the debate would be very serious, but it turns out there's lots of twists and turns, and it's very fun.
Well, I probably wasn't the most polite delegate. I guess I didn't have as much freedom as I had wanted, but that's how it's supposed to be, and I like to thank the chairs because they kept it realistic.
I was also very skeptical about how well my committee would be researched, and whether they would know the rules and procedures, but I have to say that I was quite wrong, and everyone was well researched, and I thought everyone was willing to speak.
Well, at first I was nervous because I'm like, I don't know what to say. This is like, I've done it in this academy, kinda. But I was like, it's gonna be so like scary and stuff. But it turned out it actually wasn't that bad, like once you got started.
And then also another thing, I thought it has a lot more to do with teamwork than I thought. I thought it was just going to be like you go and you give your speech, and then you give another speech, and that would be it. But it's actually about like cooperating with other countries and to collaborating, as Elena said, and like doing what needs to be done. And it was not just like yourself, it was other people too. So I like that.
At first I was kind of nervous, but then after it started, it was really fun. And I thought it was also kind of cool that we had our country's placard and flag and pin and all this identification stuff.
I'd like to thank Clark's mom a lot because she did so much. I don't think we all realize how much she sort of helped with the process. She got all of the pins, all of the flags, got all of the folders together and all of the binders for the chairs, and it's really amazing how much commitment she put in, not in her own free time, not required, but that she did options.
She was an
Yeah.
enormous help. Yeah.
You should keep doing it until you get to more anniversaries, since it's only the first. So keep doing it because it's really fun.